This is A-Game, fast-acting, long-lasting, with no side effects.
Hey all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your host, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure. And this is my perspective. So, I got my 2 cents so far to talk about the Ime Udoka situation. For those of you who do not know, Mr. Ime Udoka is the current head coach for the Boston Celtics. He's also married to actress Nia Long, and he is now embroiled in a scandal because he had an affair with an unnamed, undisclosed woman within the Boston Celtics organization. The news of that apparently got around to whomever it needed to get around to in the Boston Celtics organization. And so now he's facing punishment from the Celtics in the form of a 1-year suspension from his head coaching position, with potential for there to be more punishment. They don't know if that's even the end of it. Nobody knows if that's even the totality of the punishment that he is going to receive from the organization. And the reason why he's receiving punishment from the organization is because apparently it is against policy for, people within the organization to have romantic tie or what have you. So everybody's sort of in an uproar about it, not necessarily, okay. The consensus is that, okay, Ime Udoka probably does need some type of suspension or some type of organizational punishment. What everybody's not liking, first of all, is that it's 1 whole year for something that most people know happens in that industry, in the sports world, in the NBA world quite often. And it's not usually handled in this sort of public disgrace type of manner. And people are trying to figure out why Ime Udoka's situation is being handled the way that it is, as opposed to being handled in-house and sort of privately by the organization. And one of the more notable people who held that opinion, which I agreed with, was Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. was basically challenging this gynocrat, Malika Andrews, on the show when they were discussing this situation. And she tried to spin it into a gynocrat argument, which we might get into later. But essentially, his point was, if you're going to fire him and let people speculate, or you could, whatever. But if you're not going to fire him, handle it in-house. Handle that in-house. Deal with it internally. Since it's an internal issue, it was not a public issue and people didn't know about it. So it would have been something to be handled within the organization, as are most of those types of cases where you've got a coach or players or someone like that involved romantically with someone else within the organization when it goes against policy or when it could be messy or what have you. So I actually agree with that, because we don't always hear about all the affairs and all of this and that goes on. And it's not like it's not happening. It's just being handled hush hush. It's being handled behind closed doors. So there's that one part of that situation where you've got this real public, real messy, and it is a very messy way for the Boston Celtics organization to have even broken the news or to have even put it out there like this. And in the way that they're putting it out there is real gynocratic. It's real hyena. It's real, you know, Maggles holding up hyenas and protecting hyenas, because the hyena that's being protected is the side piece. Now, the reason why I'm saying that she's being protected is because we don't know her name. And because the Boston Celtics organization decided that it was worth it to blast Ime Udoka for the indiscretion, but also at the same time let the lady remain anonymous in the same situation, led to a couple of things happening. And the public is not feeling it. And this is what we're really talking about the women have really lost this gender war and they don't know it. Because not only is she allowed to be anonymous, the initial report said that it stipulated specifically that this was a consensual relationship that Ime Udoka and the unnamed hyena was having. Okay? Consensual. They were having an affair. Okay? This chick, in order to dodge accountability, in order to dodge responsibility, in order to put up a shield where it would be considered wrong to put her information out there, she ends up now trying to convince the Boston Celtics organization that this is a sexual harassment case and that Ime Udoka was consistently making unwanted sexual advances towards her. Now, that's problematic. But before we get into how problematic that part is, by the Celtics not addressing who this woman is, pretty much every other woman that was in and around the organization got dragged on the internet, and some of them got doxxed on the internet because people were speculating as to who this woman actually was. And so there were women whose names and images were being attached to the scandal that didn't have nothing to do with the scandal. See, all of this should have been handled in-house, but Boston Celtics is being real messy about it. And I'm not sure why. I don't follow basketball. I don't follow any of the teams or anything like that. So I have no idea what maybe the histories could have been or what the motives are for the way in which the Celtics are really handling this situation. But it's real messy. They really should have left it in-house because Ime knows who it is, Nia knows who it is, and the organization knows who it is. And so if they had kept this sort of quiet, it could all be handled properly according to whatever the bylaws and the policies of the organization are to handle this type of situation. But now you got these people business all in the street for no reason, and you put half a story out there. So now this leads people to start speculating. Folks is getting involved, wrapped up in it that's not actually involved, had nothing to do with it. And the reason why I say Nia knows who it is because the person who had an affair with Ime Udoka was the same person, whoever this is, that makes travel arrangements for the team. Whoever that is. And they still not dropping any names. Nobody knows any name for this person. Well, if you're going to protect her and her reputation and her name and her honor and her this and her that, because she has not been suspended. As far as we know, she has faced no repercussion in terms of suspension, in terms of being relieved of her job, in terms of anything. This woman is about to go pretty much scot-free for half in being involved in half the scandal. She was the other part of the scandal. This is the part that I'm focusing on. She's trying to make this a criminal case by asserting and alleging that Ime Udoka was making unwanted sexual advances. So now what I want to know is, what's the track record and the paperwork for her going to HR reporting him then? When was the first report that she made about his unwanted sexual advances towards her and she was just not with it? I want to know where's the paperwork to that, because she should have been reporting him. This should have some type of paperwork or trail behind it. If you're going to accuse somebody of making unwanted advances and harassing you sexually on the job, there's not a woman in 2022 that's scared to say that in the workplace right now, just because of the gynocentric feminist environment that we live in. You know she gonna get a bag. He gonna be the villain. And now you got everybody looking at him as some type of predator, rather than, okay, this is a man who had an affair on his wife with a woman at work, which happens all the time, no matter what industry you're in. That happens every day. And every man's name is not put on blast because that's what he did. You handle it as an organization. If you're going to punish him or whatever, but punish her too. Because if the policy that got broke was you're not, two organization employees are not supposed to have romantic dealings with one another, then she broke the policy as well. Did she not? She broke the policy too. So you can't have it both ways. You can't be in a consensual affair with a married man and think you about to get let go. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to face any consequences. You're just going to lay up and be the side piece. And I guess T-He and Kiki, because she's the same one that was responsible for not only the travel arrangements of the team, but also the team members' families as well, which includes Nia, and whether or not she could be, come to games and things of that nature. So this is a prime example unfolding before our eyes about how women use the victim card, use the Me Too, use all of these different concepts to escape accountability. Whoever this woman is using her status as a woman to now claim victimhood in a situation that she was a willing participant of. This is why men don't fool with women like that. And this is why it's dangerous for men to put themselves in these types of positions with these women. Because now all of that laying up that she did with Ime Udoka, now she telling everybody else that he's some type of predator and he was trying to force himself on her or whatever. When she was willingly laying up, wherever they was laying up at, she was a willing participant. She was happy with a smile on her face. Probably thinking about how, she was smiling Nia's face, but I got your man type situation. Because that's how hyenas think. That's how they think. They vindictive and they spiteful and they dirty. That's how they do. They don't got no integrity, because even if he stepped to you, a lioness would never do it, because lionesses are never side pieces to begin with. We never put ourselves in those disgraceful situations that, so if it ever came out that that's what was going on, we're sitting somewhere shame-faced. And because of her shame, she can't take responsibility and say, yeah, you know what, it was me, and save your sisters in the organization. This is how hyenas scoop dirt on each other with their back feet. She won't even come forward and take responsibility to get the pressure off of the other women in the organization that had nothing to do with that. You were laying up with a married man. These other women that have nothing to do with that situation. So why don't you woman up and step up and say, you know what? It was me. I'm the one that had the affair with Ime Udoka. Leave the other women out of it. Me coming forward would automatically clear up any misconception and ruining potentially of other women's reputations that had nothing to do with this situation. No. But instead, she's hiding behind, sexual harassment, and he made advances. Girl, if you don't knock it off, ain't nobody made no unwanted advances. Whatever advances he made was fully wanted because you engaged. Okay? And this is why lionesses we would never do that. You know you're dealing with a hyena when she willing to roll in the dirt. When she willing to kick up a dust cloud in the boneyard, that's when you know you're dealing with a hyena and not a lioness. Because a lioness would have the integrity to say, no, I'm flattered, whatever. But, I know that you're married and things of that nature. I can't. Or however she turned that down, I can't do that. Because first of all, you would know not to even step to a lioness like that to begin with. So this was a smash and dash anyway. For him to even think that he could step to you like that and have an affair with you for however long y'all had this affair going on. So you would jump off. And as a jump off dude, they never can take responsibility after they done did folks dirty. And after they done rolled around in a dust cloud. These little dustianas can't take the dust cloud as it's settled. Lionesses are never in these types of positions, being a side chick, because that is a disgraceful position to be in, especially if it can result in a scandal, it get out, and now your whole reputation is crap now. Because I bet you Nia Long's reputation is not suffering. Because she not the side piece. She the wife. And the Boston Celtics, y'all handling this real messy. This is really ugly. You could have handled this better than that. And shout out to Stephen A. Smith for him checking Malika Andrews. That's almost a different conversation that he had with her because she was on some gynocratic mess. We're not here to blame women. We're going to blame that woman. She going to take some accountability at some point. I hope she do. She needs to, because if Ime is going to be going through all of these punishments, where her punishment at? If he got to be in the potential of losing his job on more than a suspension, why is her job secure? Why is she secure? If they both broke policy, why is he the only one being punished? Because this is where we live. But the key is that everybody's not jumping behind her and jumping on his neck. The internet and the people at large and the fans are like, he might have been wrong. You can feel how you want to feel about him being in an affair and blah, 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 blah. But how y'all handling it, nobody's feeling that. Nobody's feeling that. Who is this other woman? Who is this woman? Hoppo, who this woman? Because she going to take some accountability today. If he got to take all the accountability, no, she got to take 50% of that. She took 50% in that bed as she laid up. So she need to take 50% of the punishment. Anyway, as it stands, that's my perspective. The story may unfold differently. If it's important enough or interesting enough, we may come back to it. But that's my initial perspective on how they're handling this with the woman involved in this situation. So, that's where we are with it for right now. Where we also are with it is our petition that we have for Black Lives Matter. We're very close to our goal of 7,500 signatures. So if you want to hold Black Lives Matter accountable as well, all you have to do is get down in the description box, click the link for the petition, sign, share, contribute to it as well. Also jump down in the comment section and let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your host of Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.